quarterback out of the University of North Carolina, Mitch Trubisky. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jamal Williams, 71 yards. And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Now Trubisky, they're going to throw for it. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Do what we do.
And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
They'll look to run for him with Williams. And he is in to make it 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to...
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jamal Williams with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Thorough domination right now, and the game plan is simple, obviously, Charles. They're going for 2 after every touchdown, and it's 24-0.
Don't you just get the sense right now that they're just flexing? I mean, you'd be able to do whatever they want, how they want, 3 2-point conversions, and now they're up 24-0. So essentially they gained a field goal out of it without even trotting the kicker out there.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Taken down at the 42.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt. Yeah, Sanders now to return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already... And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 83 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And make him 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And just shedding him off there. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now Trubisky to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Now Trubisky. Come on EA Sports. And off the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off.
5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And this a very, very short kick. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
As Sanders has it poked free. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2. And oh, he coughed it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Roddy White, 76 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. The call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Dancing to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Fitzpatrick now. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Play action. It's Trubisky. The Sanders has got it complete. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Eagles. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And he'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up past the 40-yard line.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Flush to his right. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and they will remain well behind.
And And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one...
This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all. And our score remains the same. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And that has to be so frustrating because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the second half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter what you say, errors will result, and that's exactly what happened here. They were trying to change things from what happened in the first half. Instead, they continue to make mistakes.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 85 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this second very manageable.
Man, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Williams running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jamal Williams, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles just continue to roll. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This is taken way up, and now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Trubisky's throw here taken in by Knox. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jamal Williams, 14 yards. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. The call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead.
Now a hit and a loose football. And do not ask me to explain what in the world happened there, folks. That's a safety in the strangest of ways, my word. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
And now here come the Ravens. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Fitzpatrick now from the 50. And the ball is knocked out. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Fitzpatrick now after the fumble recovery. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome. But completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Yeah, we dominate today.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Fitzpatrick. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Fitzpatrick to throw it. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, they're just dressing up the final score.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30, up to the 33. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 147 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Trubisky's throw caught by Sanders. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Ted Hendricks making his presence felt. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll run it with Williams. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
This is now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have a
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. That's caught by the Hall of Famer Casper in this fourth quarter of play. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Now the defense will burn